Hey guys, this is Eric Nicksick, coach here at Xtreme Couture Mixed Martial Arts, and I'm here to break down Sean Strickland, UFC 293. All right, so number one, Israel Adesanya. He's got to be up there. He is, in my opinion, the middleweight GOAT, 1A, 1B. Make the argument between him and Anderson Silva, but I think the style and the way that Izzy's been winning and the level of competition, I got to have Izzy number one. Kamaru Usman's up there, number one. He is your welterweight GOAT. 1A, 1B, right? Can I put him up there with him? Number one, 1-1? Yeah. So, again, you talk about Kamaru Usman, you talk about GSP, the style, the level of competition that Kamaru's fought and beaten. You know, Kamaru Usman, the blend of his wrestling and his striking, I think, over the years, where primarily came in as an offensive style wrestler, did a great job of keeping guys pinned down, stapled legs, great ground and pound. But all the while, his striking began to develop and complement his wrestling very well, to where his confidence level and his striking increased. But what he did so great, or what he does so great, is he blends it in great together with his level change and feints, whether you don't know if he's shooting, whether you don't know if he's striking. I think that's what's really great, is the space between the notes, man. He's an unbelievable talent. So Kamaru's got to be up there. And it definitely was one of the changing elements in Sean Strickland's career was the fight against Kamaru Usman. Helped him immensely. Alex Pereira, you got to put him up at number one as well in that one group. Former champion, the fashion, the way that he beat Sean Strickland, caught Sean overpairing, collected the data correctly, looked good at doing it, slide back, attacked with that left hook, was able to go get the finish on Sean, and then goes out and then, beats Israel Adesanya and collects the title. So, I think Alex deserves his flowers to be up there at number one as well. Another number one I got to put up there, man, is Jared Cannonier. I think he's a guy that, man, just, starting his career at heavyweight, moving to 205, moving to 85, and doing it at the highest level, competing, fighting for the title. I think he really is only getting better. His last fight against Marvin Vettori was a masterclass, man. And, you just see his development and his growth every time out. He comes from a great gym and camp with Rob Emerson, Coach John Crouch, those guys over there at MMA Lab. He's another one, man. I think that perennial top three guy is always going to be in the title hunt. So I gotta put him up there. So let's go number two. Let's go with Jack Hermansson in that number two realm. Again, just a guy that's kind of always been in the rankings. He's never really broken through, but has some really great highlight reel finishes. The Kelvin Gastelum one comes to mind. Out there in Abu Dhabi, just gets on that leg right away and was able to destroy it. He went and fought a great short notice fight against my guy Chris Curtis in London. Another guy who I think is super durable, kind of a specialist what he does with the ground and pound, but also a lot of growth in what he's doing as well. So got to put him too. Brendan Allen, number two, I'll put him up there as well. Guy who's kind of, again, coming to his own, a guy that has a really, really good ground game, and is now utilizing his ground game mixed in with his striking. We've had a corner against him twice. Fought Puna Soriano, very, very smart, stayed long, kept his distance, kicked Puna's body really well. And then, he fought Chris Curtis, and Chris was able to get on the inside and win that fight. Sean Strickland was able to beat him. Just signed a great fight against Paul Craig, man. Actually, really good fight on paper. So that'll be a good one. So I gotta put him at number two. I'd say the C group, I would go, or actually, you know what? Let's put Imavov in that B group as well. I think Imavov is another good prospect guy that, I feel like the loss to Sean Strickland is only going to help him, in that short notice fight. Kudos to a guy like Imavov who's willing to fight a guy like Sean Strickland on 4 days notice, because the style switch up from southpaw Kelvin Gastelum to Sean Strickland on 4 days notice, man. He could have easily turned that fight down and fought somebody else or moved the fight to a later date. But I feel like that fight's really only going to make him better. And he was looking good against my guy, Chris Curtis, in the beginning of that. So got to give my flowers to Imavov. I think he's right up there as well. Let's go C group. I'm going to put Uriah Hall in there. Man, I've got a coach in corner Uriah for a long time. He's a good friend of mine. I think the only reason why I put him in that C group is I just feel like untapped potential. You know, when I think of Uriah, I just think I think he's so good in so many elements, but I feel like he almost had his own roadblocks at times. You know, he didn't commit to where his greatness should have been and could have been. But man, he's a guy that I feel like still has the best knockout in UFC history. Although as an Ultimate Fighter, man, just violent. Been in there with him, sparred with him, moved with him, held pads for him, cornered him on the road. I think of him as a brother, but you know, if I'm being honest, I feel like he should be in that A group had he tapped into his potential the way he should have been. So I put him there. Let's see. Ponzinibbio, C group. Yeah, another guy, 170, man, can make some noise. Ranked, you know, wouldn't want to put the word journeyman on him, and I don't think that's a knock, but I think Ponzinibbio on a great night can beat anybody in the top 10. But some of those times where you just see, like, you know, him not show up the way he should. And then there's nights he goes out and gets the win. So I think Ponzinibbio is up there, and he has a win over Sean Strickland. So got to put him up there as well. Let's go with my guy, Court McGee. Court McGee, man. Yeah, I put him in C. Just another legend. You know, you think about everything this man's accomplished just outside of the octagon, you know, with being a former addict and what he was able to get through off the opioid abuse and have a stellar UFC career, and just a dog. You know, you see his fights. I mean, you know, you're going to fight a guy like Court McGee. It's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight. Sean was able to win that fight via decision number of years ago, but again, man, just a huge fan favorite of Court McGee. Love the guy and love what he's been able to accomplish in his career, and so I got to put him in that C group. Hey, I just want to give a shout out to my teammate Maria, who just got beat cancer. She's in remission. So you know, she's the heart and soul of what we got to do. It definitely put a lot in perspective of me about gratitude, you know, and how short, how the fragility of life, right? You know, this girl was in our room getting ready for a fight, wasn't feeling well, checked on her health. And that was the big message Maria had to the team when she got back. She's like, guys, listen to your body, check in on your health, take care of yourself. You know, and she went out and kicked cancer's ass, and now she's back in the room. So just want to give a shout out to my teammate Maria and the journey she's been on.
I beat Jared, again, being a sore loser, but can watch the scorecard, look at the points. It wasn't impressive. So I'll put me and Rob neck to neck. I think that's what happens. Me and Rob neck to neck. Me and Rob neck to neck.